On Capitol Hill, the president declassifies a controversial GOP memo. And it's Groundhog Day. Find out if Puxatawny Phil saw his shadow. Your Suncoast News starts now. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today, Florida's fire marshal here on the Suncoast today, talking about a state bill that would help firefighters with post-traumatic stress disorder. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us live from Sarasota County Fire Station number 1 in the Rosemary District with more today. Marla?
Hey, Scott, Fire Marshal Jimmy Patronis stopped right here at Fire Station number 1 in Sarasota to advocate for a policy that would increase health benefits for firefighters throughout the state. Senate Bill 376 and House Bill 227, which is pending review, would benefit first responders who are diagnosed with PTSD and allow them to receive workers' compensation. Currently, first responders are only eligible for workers' comp if they have physical injuries. We spoke with Patronis, and he says over 46% of first responders in the state have thought about suicide and 15% have attempted to take their own life.
The calls that these brave men and women take every day don't always have positive outcomes, and so many times the outcomes are good, but when they're bad, they're really bad, and the compounding effect this has on these men and women takes their toll to lead to an exponentially higher suicide rate.
Now, many may be wondering about the cost of the increased benefits. Patronis tells us the estimated impact would be minimal to the state of Florida. Here for you in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, Marla, thank you. Wildfires are already popping up across parts of the Suncoast a little earlier than normal. Fire officials say we have not seen this many wildfires this early in several years, including 5 that have sparked in Sarasota County and another 3 in Manatee County. In the month of January, there were a total of 22 wildfires in the region, which includes Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, Hardee, and DeSoto counties. Florida Forest Service officials in the Myakka district say that's at least a dozen more than January of last year.
The majority of them have been illegal burns. There's been a couple of them that's been caused by equipment or children. There's still a handful that's still under investigation, and so it's just kind of, a little hodgepodge of different things so far.
Fire officials say Florida's wildfire season is year-round because of how dry it can be here. Firefighters usually see more wildfires toward the end of February, which usually marks the beginning of our dry season. A warning now about a telephone scam here on the Suncoast. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office says many people in the area have received calls this week from a man who claims they've missed jury duty and that there's an active warrant out for their arrest and that they must pay a $1,000 fine. If you've received a suspicious call like this, you should contact local law enforcement to report it. Now to the nation's capital, where a big question remains: will that highly controversial classified memo written by House Republicans be released today? Just moments ago, the White House did declassify that memo. ABC's Lana Zach is in Washington with more.
President Trump is contemplating the release of the controversial House intelligence memo, and at the same time he is tweeting an indictment of the leadership of the FBI and Justice Department, writing that they have politicized the sacred investigative process in favor of Democrats and against Republicans. But this is the same leadership team the president handpicked. The classified memo was written by Republicans on the House Intelligence Committee chaired by Congressman Devin Nunes, an ally of the president who served on his transition team. Democrats on the committee say the memo cherry-picks information in an attempt to discredit the special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference. And even the president's FBI director, Christopher Wray, says the memo has serious problems, citing his grave concerns about material omissions and the memo's accuracy. Former FBI Director James Comey tweeted his support for the agency, saying American history shows that in the long run, weasels and liars never hold the field, so long as good people stand up. And there is now another Republican senator who is publicly siding with the FBI.
There's no FBI director that hasn't faced undue political pressure. I think he's handling the pressure well.
It is unclear when exactly the memo will be released. Democrats had asked that their own memo, which they say undermines the credibility of the Republican written one, be released simultaneously, but that request was denied in a committee vote. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
And President Trump preparing to host a visitor from down under. Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull will visit the White House on February 23rd for a day of meetings with the president. The two leaders are expected to discuss a range of topics, including security concerns, terrorism, and economic growth. The president and prime minister have had some ups and downs in their relationship up to now. A phone call between them turned heated last January, with some reports indicating the president hung up on Turnbull. But the White House press secretary, Sarah Sanders, said the president is looking forward to this meeting. Developing overnight, Cuban state media reports Fidel Castro's eldest son has committed suicide. Fidel Castro Diaz-Balart, known as Fidelito or Little Fidel, had been receiving treatment for depression for several months. According to the state-run Cuba debate website, Fidel Castro had 6 other sons and 2 daughters. New at noon, President Trump will nominate Sarasota State Representative Joe Gruters to the Amtrak Board of Directors. Gruters, a Sarasota CPA, will also serve as chair of the Sarasota GOP. Said he's honored and thrilled to be on President Trump's team. Gruters will remain in Sarasota and travel to attend Amtrak board meetings, but the appointment must first be confirmed by the U.S. Senate.
I see my royal shadow. 6 more weeks of winter to go.
And yes, it's Groundhog Day across the country, the annual tradition where Punxsutawney Phil gives his prediction for upcoming weather. And as you heard, Phil saw the shadow, which means there's 6 more weeks of winter, even though today doesn't really feel like winter here on the Suncoast. We'll take more of what we got, but John Scalzi joins us now. John, Punxsutawney Phil, not the most accurate forecast.
Not so much.
Yeah.
But this is kind of giving me a little bit of Groundhog thing here with remembering about 5-6 years ago, I think it was, that this same exact thing happened. It was snowing, the skies were overcast, and yet old Phil saw a shadow. And the only way you can do that is because of the television cameras.
Yeah,
so. I don't know.
It's
it happened
not
again today.
yeah.
No, it's fine though. Heck,
Yeah.
any excuse to have a live band at 4 in the morning, right? We have a beautiful day shaping up here on the Suncoast. Van Wezel webcam showing nothing but blue sky to start off your morning. And then a few fair weather clouds from time to time, but not enough to really matter. I think we'll see more clouds around tomorrow because we'll begin to cloud up due to an approaching frontal boundary that promises maybe some weekend rainfall. We'll look at temperatures that'll rise once again to about where they did yesterday. We're at 72 right now. No reason to think we won't get up to about 74 again today. Most everywhere solidly in the 70s right now, about exactly where we were yesterday. Some places a degree less, some places a degree more. Here in Sarasota, we're right exactly at the temperature that we saw yesterday at this hour. We'll get up to about 74, I think, by around 3 o'clock, and then as we head into the evening, maybe a few more clouds around. You'll probably notice it getting a little breezy tonight. We'll talk about that and its implications for our weekend forecast coming up in just a few.
All right, John, thank you so much. ABC 7 business commentator Jeff Stern joins us now with a check of the day on Wall Street so far, and it looks like Monday and Tuesday kind of set the tone for a down week in the markets.
That is correct, Scott, and that was the wrong tone. Unfortunately, the S&P is down about 1.75% for the week, while the Dow's down 2%. NASDAQ right around 1.5%, excuse me about that. Oil companies came out with earnings today that were not that strong. Unfortunately, the good news is Google is actually down as well. Unfortunately, that's not the good news. The good news is Amazon is positive. They came out with their strongest profits, $2 billion. They're up about 6%. Oil's still trading around $65 a barrel. We've seen that 10-year Treasury actually boom up to 2.83 was the last I saw, so that's pretty impressive. Unfortunately, when I woke up this morning, the futures were negative, so let's see how we're currently trading. The trend continues, 25,864, down 322 points, 1.22% for the Dow. NASDAQ negative as well, 7,318, down 67 points, 0.9%. S&P, I wish I had better news, but that's negative as well, 2,794, down 27 points, 0.97% in the negative.
Well, Jeff, we start a new month now. How did January's job market look?
January looked good, Scott, that's for sure. Let's remember 2018, actually 2 million new jobs. So for January, they're expecting that to continue. They're expecting 175,000 new jobs, with unemployment staying at 4.1 and wage growing about 2.6%. The good news is the numbers came in 200,000 new jobs January 2018. Unemployment remained at 4.1%, so that's strong. But the real news, the big news, 2.9% in wage growth. That's much higher than they expected. We're looking for a little 3% or higher, which is great. We believe with the new tax laws, wages are going to go up. Companies are giving raises. We hear a lot about that in the last couple of weeks. Also, these one-time bonuses will help the economy, although they're not going to be considered as far as that number of wage growth. And the other big thing is state minimums are rising, so that's impressive as well to continue to help the wage growth. That's really what we need. Again, talking about Amazon, how can you not? 130,000 jobs in 2017 for a total about 566,000 jobs, Scott. It's very impressive. Yeah, so sure hopefully America will continue, keep investing in the new jobs and continuing. Robots are still a little far away.
Okay, we hope so.
Definitely.
All right, Jeff, thanks so much.
Have a great weekend.
You too. So to come in your Suncoast News, why Tesla is planning to bring solar options to Home Depot stores, and why coffee in California could start to come with a new warning label.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Ray Collins. Sarasota's Selby Library is hosting a career fair for local high school students. We'll tell you which employers will be there looking for the future leaders of tomorrow. That's Monday on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
As we head into next work week, we'll be looking at some changes coming up in terms of our temperatures. Changes I think you'll like. We'll talk about that bright and early.
Monday at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you. Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a temperature that'll top out today, very similar to where we were yesterday, coming in at around 74. Clouds may be on the increase a little bit during the afternoon because we have a front that's approaching the area. Don't worry, that's not going to produce showers. But as we head into the evening hours, it may kick up the wind speeds just a little bit. We'll watch for that. And tomorrow for the regatta, well, we'll have that forecast later, but there could be a little extra wind breeziness in the morning hours. Nothing, no big deal. I think it'll get off without a hitch, but could happen. 66 by 7, 62 by midnight. And then as you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll be solidly in the mid-50s. Currently, we're at 72 with a dew point value of 56. So that dew point value is kind of rising, and it's going to continue to rise. Still low enough that as that front moves through, it's not going to produce any rain showers. But there's another front back behind it, and that one may. The computer models are continuing to show that there will be some rain showers in the state of Florida, and confidence is growing in, quarter-inch rainfalls, quarter-inch rainfalls or tenth of an inch rainfalls. So nothing like the amount of rain that we got with the last one. But the sunny sky icon that we have here, that'll probably be replaced with a little bit more cloud cover over the weekend. Hour by hour through the day, 64 degrees or so. 65, 66 by the time we get to the evening hours and you're out strolling the boulevards or taking your sunset walk. Everything should be just fine weather-wise. Well, winds will probably be picking up a little bit at that hour, and certainly by the overnight we will be. A little extra cloud cover, sky cover during the overnight. Temperatures again falling probably into the 50s. A little bit of passing cloud cover as well. You'll notice that as you get up tomorrow morning. If you have an early tea time, I think it'll get off without a hitch. We'll probably have a mix of sun and clouds, banks of clouds coming through, and sunshine with temperatures tomorrow just a few degrees cooler than they are today. So we'll watch this line of showers continue to press southward through the peninsula. The frontal boundary back behind it causing all of this will really fall apart as it sinks southward. But the winds will get a little bit gusty. We'll start to build in a more northeasterly wind flow, and we'll catch a little bit of cloud cover tomorrow. Then there's the big question mark in Sunday's forecast. This frontal boundary sinking into the Gulf waters where a low pressure area should develop. Now, there's a pretty good chance of some stronger storms up along the northern Gulf Coast from the Louisiana Delta all the way over to the Panhandle tomorrow. So we'll watch this as it gets a little closer to us. It could trigger off a thunderstorm or two, but most likely the thunderstorms will be to our north. A nice day today, a slight rain chance, and then clouds on Sunday with some showers. North wind comes in at about 10, but that picks up during the overnight northeast to about 15. Could end up with a moderate chop tomorrow on our bay and inland waters, which has, I suppose, some impact for the regatta, though they'll be able to handle that with just fine. Look at 74 degrees, our temperature today. Tomorrow, a little extra cloud cover around, slightest little chance of a shower in the afternoon. 71 will go with, cutting our temperature back a few degrees. Sunday, looks like about a 50% chance of showers. Call it first alert day, just because there'll be so many people out. Maybe you want to play some catch or football on the lawn before the game. There'll be a few showers about. And there could be a thunderstorm or two, but a good chance of seeing some rain. And then as we head into the week ahead, everything looks pretty good. Things clear up on Monday morning, and we get a little warm out there with daytime high temperatures next week, maybe approaching the 80 mark by midweek. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, Tesla is bringing its high-end solar gear to the home improvement retail market. The company expanded its sustainable energy footprint back in 2016 after buying a solar company. On Thursday, Bloomberg reported Tesla plans to start selling its own solar gear in 800 Home Depot locations across the country. Tesla said solar panel systems can cost anywhere between $10,000 and $25,000. Well, if you need a passport or an updated passport, there's an incentive to do it before April. The cost is going up by $10 on April 2nd. So adult passports will be $145, and children 16 and younger will be $115. The State Department says the fee needs to be higher to cover the cost of processing passport applications. A popular airline is changing its policy on support animals. United Airlines recently refused to accept a peacock named Dexter aboard a flight from Newark to Los Angeles. The bird was rejected under the airline's previous policy for health and safety reasons. Well, now United is updating its policy on support animals and will require documentation about the animal's health and training before they can be allowed on the plane. Delta also has the same rule in place now. Time now to check in with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who joined us live today from Sweet Mom Italy, which is on Main Street in downtown Sarasota.
Scott, I think I see a perfect Valentine's present for your wife because there's so many delicious pastries and cookies and so much more. I love this little space. It's right near Patrick's, and it's a beautiful Italian cafe that offers an abundance of homemade pastries that are so lovely, charming biscottis, but they also offer a wide variety of selections like salads and antipastos and things like that, not to mention meringues and gelato. Over here is where I usually find a lot of my friends hanging out. They'll order their cappuccino, and then voila, they come right over to the case and look at these filled with either Bavarian cream, chocolate. I want you to stay with me throughout the hour as we come back and enjoy a taste of Sweet Mom Italy. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Why do that?
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC7, weekdays starting at 5.
Oh, now it's time to meet Pet of the Week with Marcia Panucci. Oh, what a cute dog.
Isn't he wonderful?
He's beautiful.
He's trying to protect us
That's
from
right.
these bad cameras
Oh,
that
look
are
at those
moving
bad
around.
cameras. Yes, you protect us, honey. That's a good dog. That's a smart dog. Yeah.
And-
Tell us about Kato.
Oh, well, let me tell you, Kato, with a C, is 9 years old. Can you believe it? Look at this energy that he has. He's almost like
he's
a
in
puppy.
good shape.
Oh, listen, he's got great muscles,
Does,
great
and he's
conformation
trim.
here. And he is what we call a mixed breed dog. And I don't know, John, I see a little bit of shepherd, a little bit of hound, a little bit of
Florida brown dog, as
Florida
we say.
brown,
Yeah.
And he's just absolutely
Oh,
wonderful.
I know. He's looking at those bad
Yeah.
cameras.
He-
He's going to protect us.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to protect us, huh, Kato?
It's okay.
Thank you, sweetie.
He
Thank
loves
you.
to play.
Not sure whether he wants to protect us or eat the treats. He's
Well,
a little confused, a little mixed.
Well,
Little
as long as he
conflicted.
doesn't want to eat us.
No, he's a
He's
sweetheart.
a precious boy.
He is
He's a precious boy.
Here you go, honey.
He's 9 years
Yeah.
old. He loves to play. He loves to go for car rides. Absolutely loves to stick his head out the window and enjoy that air.
Look at that
And
tail.
he is just a perfect dog. But he must be the king of his castle.
Okay.
He has to be the only dog Yes.
I'm thinking even at 9, if a person likes to go for walks or runs or whatever, this would be the perfect animal.
He's the guy that
you go
put
get those cameras. You get those bad cameras, baby.
He's the guy you put next to your bicycle and you ride, and he's running that energy off the whole way. I mean, I just love a dog like this, especially at this age. And he's presented today by Bishop's Animal Shelter, and you can call them at 941-792-2863. Fill out an application, and he'll come bounding out to meet you. Isn't he something?
He's a good one. He'd be a wonderful addition to your home. And if you have any cameras in your house, you probably will have to work it out before he comes in.
Or hide them.
Or hide them, Any big cameras about 6 feet tall and about 3 feet wide could be a problem.
But other than that, he's the perfect companion.
Thanks very much, Marcia. Let's jump over to Judy, see what's going on with Judy out there in the field. Judy, how's it going?
Well, we are at Sweet Mom Italia Cafe, and I laughed because Marcia and I ran into each other last week, and we were raving about these beautiful pastries. I want you to meet the owner, Sylvia, and share the experience of, Sylvia, how did you find Sarasota, and where do you originally come from in Italy?
We are from Rome, and we decided to come here to give another opportunity to ourselves and our kids. We choose Sarasota between all the Floridian cities. We made a lot of trips before choosing it. Sarasota is beautiful.
It is.
It's not too big and not too small, and it's well organized. I love it. But I work too much to it.
You do there is not a day that I walk by or pop in that you're not busy, not only preparing and making cappuccinos, you also give Italian lessons. Tell us about that.
Yes, because a lot of customers asked me, and I decided to help them to improve their Italian. So I do Italian lessons here. In front of a good coffee.
Perfect. And do you take like a half an hour lesson or hour lesson, 1 hour?
1 hour. And we speak or we study on an Italian grammar book. Each lesson is different.
I love it. And then you have a good coffee, and then you enjoy some of this beautiful food. Now tell me, are you open 7 days a week?
Yes.
And from what time to what time?
8:30 until 9 or 10 in the weekend.
Okay, so there's plenty of time, even after dinner. Stop in. I've had a decaf cappuccino and a piece of pastry. So much fun, because there's so much to enjoy here. But they're all like little packages of a beautiful gift.
Oh, yeah, we do everything here because I want to reproduce my way of if I cook at home.
Yeah.
So everything is made here with very simple ingredients. We use flour, sugar, eggs, and fresh fruit, and that's it.
And you're going to find out even more about this great place and the freshness of it all in just a few minutes when we come back.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Coming up, the father of 3 victims abused by Dr. Larry Nassar tries to attack him in court. Plus, why police are considering a school shooting yesterday in Los Angeles an accident, and why ex-felons may soon be able to vote in the Sunshine State.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Well, welcome back. I'm Scott Dennis. Our top story this half hour, a distraught father tried to attack disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar during a sentencing hearing this morning in Michigan. ABC's Aaron Katersky shows us more.
As Larry Nassar sat for sentencing in Eaton County, Michigan, the father of 3 of his victims asked for time alone.
Would you give me 1 minute?
Randall Margraves had just watched 2 of his daughters deliver victim impact statements. Margraves described himself as a distraught father. When the judge denied his request, Margraves charged at Nassar. Court officers tackled Margraves before he reached Nassar's seat and put him in handcuffs. As Margraves was escorted out, spectators were left stunned. This is the 3rd and final sentencing for Nassar, who has already been given up to 175 years in prison for multiple counts of sexual abuse. 6 victims are giving impact statements. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
We're learning new details about yesterday's school shooting in a Southern California middle school. Police now say it was an accident. They arrested a 12-year-old girl in the incident that left a 15-year-old boy in critical condition. Another classmate is in stable condition. Students that spoke to her right after it happened say she was crying and kept repeating, "I didn't mean it." They say the gun she had in her backpack accidentally went off when she dropped the bag.
This is a very serious and complex investigation, and we're going to treat it that way because of the details that were involved.
They said that it was just an accident, but I don't really think it was an accident. Why would you take out a gun for fun?
And the big question remains, why did she bring a gun to school in the first place? 3 other people, including a school employee, suffered minor injuries. Happening in Florida, a new report released by the Florida Senate shows while the state is sending fewer people to prison than in the past, those who end up behind bars are staying there for a longer time. The study came from the Crime and Justice Institute based in Boston, which reveals there are nearly 100,000 inmates housed in Florida prisons, and the per capita incarceration rate in Florida is more than 20% higher than the national average. According to this report, a combination of minimum mandatory sentences and a strict release threshold are keeping the numbers high, even for low-level criminals. 2/3 of Florida's prisoners are locked up due to nonviolent offenses. One lawmaker believes prisons are already too crowded and that society and many inmates would benefit from alternatives to incarceration.
Because of that research, now we have a bold list of solutions that I think helps us separate the people that we're scared of from those that we're mad at.
The report recommends reclassifying felony drug possession as a misdemeanor, increasing the felony theft threshold from its current $300 amount, and eliminating the requirement that nonviolent offenders serve at least 85% of their sentence. A federal judge is ruling on a policy that bans ex-felons from voting in Florida could potentially affect this year's elections. A judge ruling that banning ex-cons who have served their time is unconstitutional. Florida's constitution allows the governor and cabinet members to restore voting rights, but the process put in place by Governor Scott and Attorney General Pam Bondi requires most ex-felons to wait at least 5 years. The judge says he will decide later what Florida should do to fix its process. And just a reminder, early voting in the special election for State House District 72 seat will begin tomorrow. 3 candidates are on the ballot: Republican James Buchanan, Democrat candidate Margaret Good, and Libertarian Allison Foxall. Only voters who live in the district can take part in the election. You can cast your ballot at any of the 3 early voting sites Saturday through February 10th, and Election Day is set for February 13th. Absolutely. Let's get a check now on our weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. And John, just we've had a really nice week of weather.
String of them,
Despite some cool mornings, the afternoons have been terrific.
A little something for everybody.
Yeah.
Cool and crisp, warm and pleasant, you know, a little bit of everything. Tomorrow, I think we'll have a little bit more wind out there. And I know we got a big event going on in Manatee County, the River Regatta. I think we'll probably see mid-50s by around 8 in the morning when the 5K is run. So we'll look for partly cloudy skies then, and probably a little bit of a breezy condition, 10 to 15 mile an hour wind out of the northeast. By noon, I'm thinking rain free, mid-60s, partly cloudy, beautiful weather. Winds may start to relax a little bit. And then by 4 p.m., they might pick up one more time as we get a little bit of a surge in the late day. Mid-70s for a daytime high again tomorrow. I don't think we'll see a whole lot in the way of cooler weather tomorrow, maybe a degree or 2 cooler, that's about it. Otherwise, some nice conditions for the rest of the day today as well. We'll talk about the rest of the weekend in a second, Scott.
Okay, John, thank you. A sure sign that spring is just around the corner. The Baltimore Orioles began moving in this morning to Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota. Unloading day, it's called, and that's when all the on and off field gear arrives from Baltimore. The team has used the same moving company for more than 25 years now to complete the 1,000-mile commute to Sarasota, and they bring a lot of equipment.
24,000 baseballs, which I really find mind-boggling, 900 bats just in case somebody breaks one, and hundreds of uniform tops and all kinds of exercise equipment. Really great stuff.
Pitchers and catchers report on February 13th with the first game set for Friday, February 23rd at home versus the Tampa Bay Rays. That's 3 weeks from today. For the latest information on Orioles spring training games, head over to Orioles.com/spring or Orioles.com/Sarasota for more on the schedules, tickets, and giveaways. Well, the Eagles and Patriots will meet Sunday in Super Bowl 52, and one Suncoast resident has played in 2 of those big games. Steve Christie now lives in Lakewood Ranch. The place kicker is originally from Ontario. He attended college in Virginia and first played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Christie is the leading scorer in Buffalo Bills history and 21st in NFL history. He kicked for the Bills in Super Bowls 27 and 28 back in the 1990s. Christie says he recalls how nervous he was playing the Dallas Cowboys in Pasadena, California.
The first one I was in was at the Rose Bowl. I went to the bathroom 6 times. I was so nervous before the game. And then I just hope that, you know, after pregame warm-up and once you kick off and get in the game, it's just another game.
Christie says he's impressed by backup quarterback Nick Foles leading the Eagles to the Super Bowl, but says Tom Brady is the best of all time and usually finds a way to win. Super Bowl 52 will kick off Sunday night at 6:30. Also Sunday, it's race day in Sarasota. The Sarasota Music Half Marathon and Rockin' 10K will kick off at 6:30 in the morning. The race will begin and end at the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall parking lot. There will be road closures during Sunday morning's race, including parts of US 41, the Ringling Bridge, and St. Armand's Circle. All right, time to get back to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who's joining us live today at Sui Mom Italia on Main Street in Sarasota. Hi, Judy.
Hi there, Scott. Well, Sylvia, I want you to go right into us and tell us about the delicious fare that you've made today.
Okay, we do everything here. We do focaccia and we feel express for customers. We can do also savory croissant or panini with a double stuffing. We do also other kinds of focaccia bread with tomato and with potato and sausage. We can do everything here. We can do caprese salad with a big tomato and fresh mozzarella, and we put a little salad on the side. We do antipasto toscano with salami, prosciutto, mozzarella, mortadella. Everything is Italian style, so you'll find here all the Italian stuff. We have lasagna, and we made here with bechamel and yes.
This is so creamy.
Yes. It's good. I do the same for my kids at home.
Well, then you know it's mom approved.
Yes. And a plate with a mix of cheeses. We have brie, provolone, fresh mozzarella, fontina cheese. And then there are...
Then the pastries. I mean, I don't even know where we begin, so I'll have you just kind of show as we're going around the table. Let's start with this.
This is the tiramisu made with mascarpone and coffee. We make 3 kinds of sfogliatelle napoletane, and we started to do sfogliatelle because a lot of customers asked us, but we do here. We don't take the frozen ones.
And they're
so
fantastic.
we have 3 kinds with almond cream, with ricotta chocolate and semolina, and with orange.
And tell me about these right here. We have about 15 seconds left, but they're so beautiful.
This is a cheesecake, Italian style. This is a tart with almond cream inside and almond slices. Cassata siciliana is made with ricotta, chocolate, and a sponge cake soaked with the Cointreau liquor. And also the marzipan is homemade.
Homemade marzipan. Now
Yes.
that's really impressive. We've got to go, but you have to talk about this because Marcia Panucci loves these.
Our
Tell me.
bombs. Okay, this is a characteristic Italian way to do breakfast. Ciambella and bomba in Italian. Sì.
I like it. La bomba.
And it's filled with, we can fill with pastry cream that is like a custard cream or jam or Nutella.
Well, I'll be back to wrap it up and show you a few more desserts in just a few minutes. Sylvia, thank you. This is a delicious experience.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long con.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you, too.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I know,
that
I
was.
heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking today at temperatures that climb up to about 74 degrees. Another beautiful afternoon shaping up for us as we head into the later part of the afternoon and into the evening. Temperatures drop back down into the 60s. May come a little breezy this evening, but should be nice with just a few extra clouds around. It'll be a great night. No rain in the forecast. Front number 1 sinks southward, comes through tomorrow, passes by, brings us a breezy wind out of the northeast, but I don't see much in the way of a rainfall chance with this one. Tomorrow, maybe a few extra clouds around. Temperatures really not knocked down all that much. This is a weak front that really is not a big player in our weather. The next front for Sunday, though, may have a bigger impact as an area of low pressure develops on it and moves across the coastline. Some computer models like this one, European model, showing the rain showers starting a little earlier on Sunday and then lingering until the evening hours as the whole system sinks southward. We'll see. This computer model tends to show the showers starting during the mid-afternoon and then kind of lingering a little bit longer into the evening hours and maybe even into Monday morning before everything kind of disperses. Could linger into drive time. Total amount of rainfall is not going to be all that great, I don't think. The confidence is about 80% in 1/10 of an inch of rain or less. Whereas if you get up to the 1/4 inch rainfall amounts, confidence then drops way down into about 20% or so. So this is not going to be a big rainmaker. It's just going to be at an inconvenient time, during a time when some people are going to have outside Super Bowl tailgating parties, you know, and maybe the kids want to play the little football out on the lawn. There could be some scattered showers, that's all I'm saying. North wind comes in at about 10, increasing to about 15 during the overnight tonight. Light chop increases to a moderate chop. And the forecast looks like this. We'll have today about a daytime high of 74. Tomorrow, with the front having moved through, a little extra cloud cover, but the temperature's really not impacted all that much, only about 71. Chance of rain is 50% on Sunday from about, I'd say, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on through the evening hours. We'll call it a first alert day only because it may interfere with some of your plans that surround the evening. Otherwise, the temperatures for next work week look nice, up near the upper 70s to close to 80. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. In HealthSmart, you may see a bit more red around today. I'm wearing mine today. That's because it's the American Heart Association's National Wear Red Day. Kim Hutcherson explains the importance of raising awareness for women's heart health.
Friday is National Wear Red Day to help raise awareness and advocate for more research for women's heart health. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for women in the United States. Lifestyle choices like smoking, poor diet, and excessive alcohol can increase chances of heart disease. So can conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure. There are things you can do to lower the chances of heart disease, such as including healthier foods in your diet, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Choose foods low in saturated fats, cholesterol, salt, and added sugars. Get out and be active. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggests adults need 2 hours and 30 minutes of exercise each week. So grab a friend who'll keep you motivated. Be smoke-free and limit alcohol use. Also, know your numbers for blood pressure, cholesterol, blood sugar, and body mass index, or BMI. It could save your life. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
In California, your morning coffee might soon come with a warning. The state keeps a list of chemicals it considers possible causes of cancer, and one of them, acrylamide, is created when coffee beans are roasted. A lawsuit targets companies that make coffee, and the suit seeks to impose fines and force companies to post warnings about the substance. Companies argue that acrylamide levels in coffee should be considered safe under state law and that the health benefits of coffee outweigh the risks. At least 13 of the defendants have settled and agreed to give a warning. John?
Michael Dongelli joins us now. He is the event manager for a big deal going on Saturday. That's the Bradenton Area River Regatta. Thanks for coming in and telling us about it.
Pleasure to be here.
Starts bright and early at 8 a.m. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, we've got, if you're into racing and you want to run the 5K, you can certainly do that. But, everybody's really there for what's happening on the water.
And
powerboat racing.
That starts up
hydrocross
about
racing.
what time?
That's going to get started around 10 o'clock, where we'll actually get the boats on the water and start doing their time trials and practice runs, and then racing all afternoon.
Very exciting. That's with the big rooster tails and the fast boats.
Oh, yeah,
right?
these are the fastest inland boats in the world. I mean, they'll go from 0 to 100 off the docks in about 4.5 seconds. They'll hit 4 Gs in the turns, and if the water conditions are right, they'll hit about 125 miles per hour on the straightaways.
I see we got some other fun things on the video here of last year's events. We've got some jet skis out there and other things. Tell us about that.
Hydrocross Racing Tour is going to be here. Those are the fastest jet skis in the world, so we have 4 classifications of racing there.
Like what kind of speeds do they do? A jet
they'll,
ski?
They'll do, again, water conditions are right, about 100 miles an hour.
No way!
Yeah. So we're talking about some fast vehicles on the water here.
That's amazing. And there'll be food, I assume, for folks
lots
that dine on?
Lots of food, lots of drinks, kid zones on both sides of the river. We've got an incredible concert lineup featuring Chuck Negron. If you're a Three Dog Night fan, he was the former lead singer.
Good stuff.
We got a Let's Groove tonight, which is a tribute band of Earth, Wind, and Fire. And of course, if you're into country, then we've got Vegas McGraw, who is the #1 Tim McGraw tribute show.
Wow, neat. And that starts up during the evening hours?
Those will all be in the afternoon. From about 3 o'clock on, you'll be able to see a lot of the signature concerts.
Okay, if we start off a little breezy, that's not going to bother anybody out there, though,
Not
right?
at all. It's welcoming, actually.
In fact, I'm told, that a little bit of chop on the water is actually kind of helpful to some of these big boats that want to stay kind of hovering over the water.
Exactly. These boats are a little bit different. They're not your standard V-hull boats that are just pushing water out of the way. These guys actually are going around the course on a thin layer of air. So little chop won't hurt them.
Just amazing. Starts tomorrow. You can't miss it. This is going to be one of the highlights of the year. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
You don't want to miss the annual Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. It is the largest orchid show on Florida's west coast with thousands of blooming orchids on display and for sale. You'll also find orchid growing supplies, artwork, jewelry, accessories, and free classes. Make plans now to attend the Venice Orchid Show and Sale February 3rd and 4th at the Venice Community Center. Go to vaos.org online for more details.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a part-time media controller to manage various stages of video on-air content playout. General computer skills are an absolute must. Visit mysuncoast.com/job-of-the-day to apply. Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.
It's the perfect weekend with this beautiful weather to come down to Main Street. Right at the farmer's market, shop around, get your ingredients, and come here and enjoy your coffee, a latte, have a full meal, or just a beautiful pastry. Le Baume with the cream is one of my favorites, but so lovely. When you're going to a dinner party, I think it's so much fun when you bring one of these and one of those and a little profiterole and little apple tarts. So there's really a variety, and so it makes, you could come here 100 times and probably not have the same thing twice. So remember, it's right next to Patrick's, right downtown on Main Street. They're open 7 days a week. And this sweet little mom cafe is Italy plus. And it just wouldn't be the end of a segment without me getting to dig into something. So I'm going to go for the Bavarian cream bomb, and I'm going to wish you a really happy weekend. And I'm going for it. Go Pats. I'm a New Englander. I've got to say it. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you soon. There you go, Scott.
That looks good. Yeah, thank
Some
you
good
so
looking
much,
food
Judy.
there.
I need to try that place. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Next to Patrick's, I guess, downtown.
In that area. Yeah.
That area, yeah.
Main Street.
So pretty nice tonight. Of course, there are new computer models coming in all the time about what events will transpire on Sunday and just how much rain we'll get when we'll get it. Bob will have the updates on all of those computer models at 5.
Okay, thank you, John. Hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead, but we invite you back at 5 o'clock for more news and your forecast.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I do that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.